Police officers who arrested other police officers. What happened? Let me tell you what happened one night when I was on shift as a deputy. I overheard something strange on the radio. Chief Morrison, the head of our small-town police department, wasn't responding to calls. That was very unusual. Morrison was a total control freak. He micromanaged every call and demanded constant check-ins. If someone didn't report in, he'd be the first to raise hell. So I figured something must be wrong and went to find him. Now, Morrison had a reputation. He was the kind of chief who'd write you up for being 2 minutes late, but never followed the rules himself. Everyone in the department knew he'd been caught sleeping on duty more than once. But since he was close with the mayor and city council, nothing ever happened to him. I thought maybe he just passed out on the station couch again. But then, I spotted his squad car pulled off to the side of Highway 9, lights flashing. That's when my heart sank. My first thought? Oh no, he got killed during a traffic stop. I rushed over. He was slumped over the steering wheel. I reached through the open window, grabbed his shoulder, and checked for a pulse, hoping he was still alive. That's when I smelled it. Alcohol. A lot of it. Not just a trace. The guy reeked like he'd been soaking in whiskey all night. Suddenly, Chief Morrison woke up. Bloodshot eyes. He looked at me, didn't say a word. Then he just put the car in drive and took off. Gone. No explanation. No acknowledgement that he'd just been caught drunk behind the wheel in a police cruiser on duty. Right then, Deputy Martinez pulled up behind me. I got on the radio, trying to sound professional, even though I was furious. I reported that the chief had just driven off. Martinez, forgetting that Morrison could hear us on the shared channel, goes, "Hey, he should be easy to follow. His lights are still on." Boom, the lights shut off instantly. What followed was surreal. For the next hour, 2 deputies were basically in a slow-motion chase with our own chief of police, weaving through back roads while he tried to lose us. He knew every shortcut, every hiding spot, but we managed to keep tabs on him. Eventually, he pulled into his driveway. I called my sergeant, who called the sheriff, who was not happy to be dragged into this. The problem? Morrison had connections. The mayor, half the city council, even some county commissioners. Everyone knew he had a drinking problem, but he was the guy who helped get their kids out of trouble or made DUI charges disappear for the right people. This time, though, it was different. He'd been caught red-handed by multiple officers. No one could sweep this under the rug. Several hours later, Morrison walked into the station. With him were Mayor Thompson and the city attorney. Clearly, they'd spent that time figuring out how to do damage control. Morrison looked cleaned up, showered, changed, and probably caffeinated enough to fuel a jet. The mayor demanded that Morrison be allowed to take a breathalyzer to clear up the misunderstanding. But here's the catch. It had been nearly 4 hours since we found him passed out drunk. He barely passed. Blew a 0.079, just under the legal limit of 0.08. After 4 hours, tons of coffee, and who knows what else. And just like that, he kept his job. The official report said he'd experienced a medical episode. Alcohol, not a factor. I was written up for failing to follow proper protocol when checking on a fellow officer. 6 months later, Morrison was promoted to regional police coordinator. And me, I transferred to a different county. The system protected him, just like it always did.